I am going to take a little break from sewing to dress some dolls. Now, the dolls that I have picked out here are all dolls that I customized to some extent over the last year. It's just a handful. We'll see how fast I get through them. You know how long it can take me to dress dolls sometimes. And let me start. They're all dolls I have customized to some extent, some much more than others. And the first one is on the lower customization end of that scale. It's this Wild Hearts Crew. I am blanking on what her name is. Corey, Wild Hearts Crew Corey, who I extended the tooth paint a little bit so it looks more like she's smiling instead of making that whatever that high fashion Flemin face is that the dolls are making. I gave her some blush and I gave her brown eyes instead of yellow eyes. Mattel eyes are brown. And my brown eyes aren't as strong as they used to be, and I never got to the optometrist this last year, so I have to put an extra pair of glasses on to be able to see what I'm doing. So, okay. Most of these dolls, I have not put any thought into what they're going to wear, but when I took all of their clothes off, I did spy a shirt that's part of a vintage Barbie outfit, 1980s Barbie outfit, that I want to try on Corey. So I'm going to go right to that. I will say none of the dolls I have picked out to dress today are straight Barbie size. One of them is a petite Barbie, but that's the only one of them that is Barbie at all. So I'm not sure how the clothes I have are going to fit these. So let's see how Corey can go into this vintage 1980s Barbie outfit. Let's see. Probably going to be very helpful that she has bending elbows for this. Because Corey is not as flat as Barbie. Let's see, as usual, I have no idea if what I'm even doing is on the screen. And you probably heard it, the child is home. He is doing virtual again this semester. Virtual does not start until next week. But the way the traditional students who are doing remote learning right now, the way their schedule always works is they have no classes on Monday. And it is Monday, so there's lots of child yelling. Alright. So I don't know. I once broke a doll's elbow before I even got the doll out of the box by trying to bend it, but she had a long sleeve and I couldn't see the bend and I snapped her elbow pin instead of bending it, so sometimes I am a little cautious about bending elbows. Alright, so there's the 1980s Barbie shirt. Now let me find these. I hope that nobody's wearing the skirt. It's possible. I didn't check. It's possible someone is wearing the skirt, in which case I will have to stop and dig through all of my dolls. I mean, I guess I could find a different skirt to go with this shirt, but I was kind of hoping it would amuse me greatly to put a Wild Hearts Crew doll in a 1980s Barbie outfit. Oh, there it is. The amusing thing to me about this outfit is I bought it in the 80s. The store was going out of business. I think I bought it for a discounted price there. And at some point I got rid of the shirt. I kept only the skirt because I thought the skirt was pretty neat. And the skirt fit female action figures. That's why I'm hoping it will fit Corey. And then in the last few years I went to thrifting and there was the shirt. So of course I had to grab it. And even though the shirt has some elastic here, the way it was sold, the way it was packaged, the way it was on the doll, on the box, it gets tucked into the skirt and the skirt is high-waisted. Which we'll see if it can fit. So the whole point of the elastic is to help keep the shirt tucked in. Now, the other problem with dressing Wild Heart's crew doll, I mean, she can't really walk in the skirt, but she's a doll. It's okay. The other thing about dressing a Wild Heart's crew doll is the feet, but I actually think her stock shoes are going to work with the colors of this outfit, provided I can find them. I'm not sure if they work with the spirit of the outfit. It might be a little too summery. Not sure if I have anything properly wintry. That'll work. Entirely the wrong spirit, but they fit. I was actually messing around with some of the shoes that I have, and I found that Creatable World shoes fit. They're just not always the correct ankle angle. I might go with these orangish boots just because I'm trying not to take as much time during this dressing dolls video as I usually take. Also, they have a very 1980s vibe to me, although not, like I said, they don't really match the spirit of the outfit. Can't remember if any of these actually are the proper angle to fit Wild Heart crew. It's kind of fun. Now I feel like I'd like it to be a little more elegant. I know elegant's not going to happen. Because Mattel can't keep a consistent foot size. I mean, there was a time when every non-Barbie doll that Mattel made still used a Barbie body. That was in the days before computer-aided design, when it took a little more effort to sculpt things. I don't know who these shoes originally belonged to. Somebody sent them to me very kindly, and I thank you, because they fit on a lot of dolls that otherwise have low shoe options. Oh, hi! Where's the other one? This is not going to help many people at all, but look! Early 2000s original pull-up body penny loafer shoes sold separately. Fit. And the heel angle is close enough. I'm gonna go with this. Alright, the other question is, do I want to keep those earrings or do something a little more 1980s? The answer to that depends on how fast I can find another pair of earrings that look like they work. I could go with the Barbie and the rocker earrings, although those are really not the spirit of the rest of the outfit. Do I have just a pair of studs? Look, I think that's a ring. almost too small. They might be too small, depends on if I can find the other one. You can tell I'm trying to hurry, aren't you? And you can tell it's not really working. Okay, that's a ring. That's a ring. That's a ring. That's a ring. That's a ring, and it's so small that I would need better glasses to see it. Like I said, this might be based on just if I can find a pair of anything. Alright, there's the other one of the loop. Oh wait, but there's another one. Oops. Alright, I think those are both technically rings, but I don't care because they are 1980s Barbie. Alright, let me close this up so I don't accidentally flip it on the floor. Alright, and put in these Barbie and the Rockers Dance in Action studs. That might actually be finger rings, but I don't care. The other ring out would help. Alright, so there is one very 80s, authentically 80s doll. Alright, next doll. It's the skipper head that I added rainbow hair to, because when this head came to me, a lot of the hair had just been straight out, pulled out from the side of the head, so she needed hair filled in, and partial reroots are always fastest. The other thing is this body is a Disney VIP body that a local doll person had thrifted just for the clothes, and Disney VIPs have Monster High-like elbow pins to the point where they fall out when they're in the thrift stores a lot, so I was able to find a Monster High Nefera, I think, arm to put in. It's a real tenuous connection. And then yesterday, when I was preparing these dolls for this video, I went ahead and made these Wonder Woman hands fit by drilling out the Nefera arm a little bit, and then on the original VIP arm I cut the hand off and drilled that out. So it's not a great connection, but she has matching hands and relatively matching forearms. And she has a really tiny body, nowhere near Barbie size. So we're going to get into the Blythe and Skipper size stuff. And do I want to give her a dress, or do I want to give her a outfit of separates? I think I gravitate toward this alien dress constantly. I could make the whole theme of this clothes I didn't make and put her in. Okay, I said that as a joke, but that is really cute. This Repro Francie dress, which is supposed to have an orange and pink fake fur coat to go with it, which I don't have. I did have this doll originally in the 90s, the Repro Francie. I actually still have the doll. She's like one of the dolls I have had the longest, and the only alteration I've done to her is curl her hair. But I've long ago passed the clothes on to someone else, and this was passed on to me by someone else who kept the fabulous jacket, and I don't blame him. So here's the dress. Child is having distress. Alright, but this dress is made to have something covered up, so we will go through all the hair stuck to everything. I can't remember if I put smaller skipper-sized jackets with the skipper clothes. I don't think it did, so I'm going to get into the jacket bag. And I see lots of pastel stuff. Let's see, this doll before was wearing this One Modern Circle Melody cardigan, which would still work with this if I want to tone it down, or do I want to go for more eye searing. I'm going to go ahead and take this arm off because I'm going to have to take it off the dresser anyway. You could go with more pink, pink on pink on pink, but there's no pink in her hair, so maybe I want to get away from pink so much. Let's see, there's this A-Zone jacket, which is another generous gift, thank you. It's really not the right style to match with the groovy mod. What did I just, yeah. Or we could do the Halloween 90s dinosaur jacket that I recently made, which was also on a skipper-headed doll. I think actually that one was on a skipper body too, which is, you know, a little unusual for me. I might do that. Let's see, what else? Anything else in here jumping out at me? Let's see, Barbie Nike, I got too pink. Like I said, there's no pink in her hair. I don't know what I was thinking. So, or I could go the other direction all the way into mod with this also thrifted twist and turn Barbie cover up that I had to restitch the hood. Very orange. Maybe a little too orange for me. Oh, Corey Cruz's jacket. Nothing jumps out at me in the next moment or so, and then I will go with, yeah, the only other colorful thing that I'm seeing in here is the Hello Kitty coat I made, which is a little too large for the skipper. I mean, this is big for skipper too, but it kind of fits. I mean, I know that's not a skipper body, but it is a smaller doll body. So. Alright, so hopefully her improvised appendages won't keep falling out before I finish getting her dressed. Alright, seems like I went through and found, like I said, I didn't really think about clothes for these dolls today, but the ones with odd feet, I went through and looked for shoe options, and then I kind of forgot about them, like I did with Corey and forgetting that the pull-up shoes fit. I can't remember if I found shoe options for this doll. Let's see if I can find hosiery. Because I think the last thing she was wearing, she was just wearing a pair of 1990s gymnast Barbie shoes, because those can be fit onto a surprising number of feet, but they were like, you know, totally the wrong angle. Let's see, do I go with the bright, or I want more of the black? my child out there being sarcastic, yes? I want to do cats. I like to do solid black. I know. For me, that's really unusual. Or these are Get Real Girl Gabby's soccer socks. I tried the Barbie soccer socks on a moment ago and rejected them. But these have, the contrast at the top, kind of echoing the way the dress is made, sort of, vaguely, barely. Wherever the other one is might determine whether I'll actually use it or not. Try not to make too much of a mess. The child thinks shrieking is hilarious, so even when it's just video game danger, he shrieks a lot. Alright, these socks are still kind of lumpy and baggy, but I'm going to go with them just because I just think it's hilarious that we have the two knits sewn together and the two knits sewn together, so that's enough for me. Alright, now shoes. Now, I will say, I think this buddy can wear Monster High type shoes, which means she could wear these Bratzilla's shoes, kind of. I don't know if those are really the look I want. I'm really not fond of young dolls in high heels. I'm really not fond of dolls in high heels in general, because I'm not fond of high heels in general, but, I know that I'm kind of in the minority on that, and there's a lot of people in the world who love high heels. I think I'm going to go back to the kind of shoes she was wearing before, which were the Barbie 90s gymnast high tops, just at a horrible angle. But do I want them pink or orange? Because they both make sense with this outfit. Well, what kind of question is that? Of course I want pink. Alright, does that actually match? Or do I want this brighter fluorescent or pink? Yeah, I'm going to slightly bluish pink. Alright, now do I still have the cut up? Somewhere I have little cut up bits of earplugs. Someone gave me the tip when they were putting Integrity Toys Dynamite Girls into military gear for photos, for reasons. They were cutting, I'm having too many ideas on this. They were cutting earplugs in half and putting each half of the earplug inside the shoe to fill in the gap under the heel. Now, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to cut this little bit of knit up to put under there. Maybe that will help. I don't know how much I need. But can keep stuff in and it's flat. I should probably actually put more cloth in there, but I'm trying to hurry. And these socks are not the best fit on this body by a long shot. Trying to get the heel stuffed down in the heel of the sock stuffed down inside the shoe. Do I want to give her a purse? No, you don't have time. Yes. Depends on what I can find. That's from the Clueless dolls from the 90s, which I bought back then on clearance. So we have our rainbow hair skipper in eye-searing bright clothes that don't quite fit, but hey, at least they're clothes. Alright, 2 dolls. How long has that been? 28 minutes. Alright, next skipper with a full reroute. This was Sun Jewel skipper. Actually had several of those. So for this reroute, I was inspired by the colors of her eyes. And I know her hair could use some more styling. This was one of those just happy to get it done reroutes because 80s dolls have so much hair. Alright, so yes, she has, this is a Star Darlings body. Oh, that's, how do I not notice that before? Okay, I'll fix that sometime. This is a Star Darlings body that I hacked a whole bunch out of on the other side of the thighs so she can actually sit without splaying. Again, no judgment on dolls who choose to splay when they sit, but a lot of harsh judgment on doll engineers who design dolls who have no choice but to splay. It's not that hard, you just have to acknowledge that articulation shouldn't look realistic if you want it to move realistically. So these had a really lovely, there was absolutely, the way these dolls are designed, no gap between the pelvis and the legs, but that pretty much made the legs do this. So I made the gap, it's ugly, I carved out a bunch of the top of the leg too. It's ugly, but it moves so much better. And my dolls don't run around in bikinis, so you're never going to see this mess. So, like I said, the engineers should know better. And I don't know, I'm digging into accessories, I just said my dolls don't run around in bikinis. Alright. Is she going to have a dress, or is she going to have... Now, she had been wearing this floofy thing that Weller Maid sent. And I will say, when I put that back in the bag, I immediately saw this. So I'm going to try this on her. This is something I made years ago. Somebody sent me a bunch of cloth scraps. They had been selling fat quarters they made from vintage bed sheets, and they had some odds and ends and sent me a bunch of those, and that's what this was. It's actually, the hem on this is actually the hem from the sheet, and it doesn't really fit this body. It needs a shorter waist to fit this body, so. But anyway, yeah, when Amber sent me all those vintage sheet bits and pieces years ago, I immediately sewed them all up into random doll clothes because, you know, I have so much fun making randomness. Actually, there's also were bits that she sent. So when I get into the doll clothes, it's like a very distinct doll time. When my craft and sewing room was in the basement, and when we were really getting going on Flickr, and I was selling a lot of stuff on Etsy. Let's see. This is also made, and these are also made from the vintage sheets. Because in my mind groups all this stuff together. Anyway, yeah, this is Blythe size, so it's, I wonder, it says Blythe size, so it's a little wider than the Star Darling's body, but the waist is definitely not a problem. I'm wondering if I can get a shirt under there. Do I have a shirt? See, is this, yeah, there's shirts in here, not just pants. I could go with another Repro Francie bit underneath. It's not what I had in mind though. I want a white or single color shirt, which honestly I'm not sure if I have. I think I have, but I'm not sure if I have. I've actually been given quite a few things that fit in the general Blythe Skipper range, so I have not memorized the contents of this bag as much as I used to have. Oh, that's pants. That's a Harry Potter shirt. That's a jacket. I mean, I know I'm envisioning a white shirt that I'm thinking of, but I don't know if I still have it. Again, I could probably make a video where I just dump out the contents. Oh, there's another Query Cruise jacket. Okay, yeah, I was right. Yeah, I did have some smaller doll jackets in the smaller doll bags. Anyway, I could probably make a video where I just dump out the contents of each one of these bags and show you everything. I don't know if anyone actually wants to see. I know everyone's always curious. Underskirt, possibly, probably not. Oh, come on, I know I have made sweatshirts for dolls this size, right? Okay, yes, that one technically is a sweatshirt for dolls this size, but it's printed. Okay, I know that got cut down from another shirt. Ah, that's the one I was thinking of. Which I think would only work if the hands come out from... Oh, yeah, there's a button. Okay, I must have just put all the white shirts together. No, that's also an option. And this is a Skipper t-shirt I've had since I was a kid. It originally had a sailboat cloth decal on it that fell off decades ago, and I really need to bleach that shirt out. It was perfect in like the 90s for baby doll shirts, and like I said, I never washed it. I mean, I have washed it, but I never bleached it, and it's pretty grubby and grimy at this point and needs to be bleached. Okay, so I'll put these in the top. We'll see if my original lady works. Okay, Star Darling hands come out, which is needed for this shirt. This shirt is made by A-Zone for the Aoshima Girls Mission action figures. And the big part about being action figures is that the hands come out. which means the sleeves are very tight and will pretty much only go onto dolls whose hands come out. Of course, they're also longer than this doll's arms. I'm not going to worry about that. Maybe.
Oh, that's a problem. My mouth is done, my mom is recording a video, so I don't know how to add new mouth in.
Hold on, I will go ask him what the problem is. I'll try to get these hands back on. Dead mouse battery. He's really not confident in his ability to change batteries without breaking things. Okay, so do I have that arm reversed or this just... I think what it is I just need to trim out more
What are you doing?
more of the elbows.
Really? No way.
The starling's body, like I was saying earlier when I was showing you the hips, they just, it's so close to being a nice, small, teen-style body, but they just whiffed a bunch of articulation decisions. If they'd made just a little bit less plastic on top of the elbow, instead of bending to here, it could bend to here. But, so I need to go through and trim that off at some point, especially since the upper arms are vinyl. It's pretty easy to trim, but it's pretty easy to over trim, and that might be why I haven't done it yet. I do this a lot. I put hair up into styles, and then by the time I get the elastic, I can't recreate it. I'm trying to find an elastic that's not too huge. I've actually been styling a lot of hair, so my stash of clear elastics is almost gone. As well as a lot of these elastics are really old and just disintegrated. I've been styling doll hair like this since the 90s. I had one doll who I styled the hair swept back behind the head thing so much that at one point I super glued those tendrils to the back of her head. I don't know if what I just said made any sense. It's 90s hair. Jumped out of the tin. Alright, so that shirt worked well enough. She needs socks and shoes. And not a jacket because shirt. I was thinking not accessories, but we have all these bows and ribbons. I got this gem Shayna ribbon, which the elastic is almost shot on, so I'm going to put it on this way. I almost grabbed that Shayna, that Barbie's gay best friend, who has a YouTube channel now. It's Barbie's GBF. I almost grabbed that Shayna for this video, but then I realized that the other dolls that I had were all dolls I had customized to some extent, so that Shayna is left alone because she's perfect. And unlike my childhood Shayna, her neck is not broken. Alright, so we need playwear. Okay, this is another doll that I discovered can wear Creatable World shoes really well, but they totally don't fit. Of course, I wish the doll with the rainbow hair could wear the Creatable World shoes, but she can't. Now, I might just put this doll back in the same Star Darling shoes that I've been putting her in, because nothing fits a doll shoe better than the shoes that are created for the foot. And it kind of matches. I mean, it matches the blue in her hair more than the green in her dress. Someday I will come up with different shoes for this doll, but I guess not today. Alright, socks. Are there socks? I don't think I have my little short lace socks anymore. I think they fell apart from being used so much. It was just a little, like, 1-inch stretch lace sewn up into a tube, and like I said, those are one of those things that seems like a doll was always wearing. Alright, which one of these actually match each other? Alright, we'll go with these. I was originally thinking heavier socks. No, just some white socks. Again, part of the reason is the same problem I had with that last doll, the way that the little skinny legs, socks are just baggy on. Those right, or did I put those on the wrong feet after all? No, those were the correct feet. Socks made for regular Barbie size legs are just so baggy on these smaller off-brand style doll legs. Alright, I had a thought. Oh, yeah. Oh, do I want the one from here? I found it fast, so we'll see yes. Alright, take the shoes off so I don't accidentally lose them. This is a lace petticoat I made years ago that the elastic is absolutely trashed on. So I generally put it on dolls and then put on an elastic band, which also means I can mess with how short it is just by where I put the elastic. I'm tucking the shirt into the petticoat, although I'm not sure why. Alright, back to the elastic. Actually, no, I'm not going to... Yeah, I'm going to use the elastic. And I'm going to use like an elastic, one of the bigger pieces. Yeah, that's old, so it fell apart. That's old, so it fell apart. It's kind of weird to have had some of these things for so long, but they're now falling apart. I'm actually going to use a regular rubber band. Hopefully it won't fall apart. It feels like it's going to. See, really I should have put the rubber band on first, because it would be easier to guide the top of the petticoat under the rubber band than it will be to guide the entirety of the petticoat through the rubber band. And because this dress is so much more roomy than this body needs, and all this bulk that I'm creating should be fairly well concealed. She says with a question mark. Am I speaking loud enough to be heard? Alright, and I have wrapped her into my shirt. And the sun has gone behind a cloud. I'm hoping the camera compensated nicely and it's not suddenly dark. Alright, so here's our pastel skipper. Alright, how much ridiculous time has that been? 48 minutes. I have 3 more dolls. Oh, and the battery's dead. The battery's almost dying. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to plug in the battery and then I'm going to record the other 3 dolls.